Welcome back, everyone. Last time you were here, we gave Xavier's school a complete identity overhaul. New type, new logos, new colors. An identity that finally gave the brand a sense of hope and belonging. Exactly what Professor X was after. And so now today we are going full agency mode. We are taking that identity system and applying it to the school's marketing materials. Brochure's website and their first relaunch campaign. Basically, we're not theorizing anymore, we're actually making stuff. So let's get into it. Okay, first things first. Our brief is the North Star. I am designing the official admissions brochure for prospective parents and students. Primary objective is to inspire trust and excitement. You want them to have the impression that they're going to somewhere that's bigger than themselves. Something extraordinary, but also safe. And the tone of this brochure, think Hogwarts meets Harvard, but for mutants. We want it to be elegant, professional, and uplifting, not too corporate or minimalistic. The key messages that I'm building around is it's a safe and supportive place to explore their powers, emotional well-being and mentorship, great facilities, and a secure campus. Guidance from people who understand the mutant experience. It's less welcome to Weapon X and more like we see your potential. Let's just help you control it. When you are designing an admissions brochure, you're not just organizing content, you're telling a story. Each page or spread should move the reader along emotionally from curiosity to confidence. The story arc behind Xavier's school brochure is all about guiding the reader through an experience. One that feels nostalgic, inspiring, and safe. The front cover features a black and white photo of the campus. I chose to strip away the color so the image doesn't compete with the brand. Instead, your eye is drawn to the blue border and the word mark at the center. It gives the feeling of looking at a framed, timeless photo. Nostalgic, yet still modern and professional. Next, the intro spread shows a silhouette of Professor X alongside a personal welcome message, signed off with his signature. It's warm, genuine, and instantly humanizes the school, almost like he's personally inviting you in. Then we move into the school's mission and values spread. This is where the reader starts to really understand what Xavier's is all about. It's followed by a section highlighting key facilities, especially student housing since it is a boarding school. And yes, we did rebrand the Danger Room into Training Room. As cool as Danger Room sounds, it's not exactly the selling point you want to lead with for concerned parents. From there, we transition into the classroom experience. The headline, Become Who You Are Meant to Be, captures the heart of Xavier's philosophy, personal growth and belonging. The imagery of students and teachers collaborating reinforces the sense of community, which is what makes the X-Men and the school so special. And then finally, we close with a spread about safety and security, the visual callback to the front cover, this time at golden hour. It creates a full circle moment. We pair that warmth with the icons that highlight the key safety features across the campus, leaving the reader with assurance that this place is where students can truly thrive. All right, we got the brochure locked in. The things that you hand out at admission fairs or slip into a welcome packet. But now it's time to tackle the big one, the website. The digital version of shaking Professor Xavier's hand for the first time. The goal here, make it look like a prestigious private school that just happens to have, laser-eyed teenagers and telepaths. But the key is to not say any of that part out loud. The creative brief for the site is all about restraint. I want it to feel aspirational, calm, trustworthy, a place where parents would feel good about sending their superpowered kids to. Think Harvard or Oxford prestige, with a Stark Industries polish. It is elegant, empowering, and quietly extraordinary, hidden in plain sight. The tone keywords that I use as my compass is elegant, empowering, and safe. But okay guys, I gotta be real with you. For this segment of the video, I did not design an actual functioning website. And you might ask yourself why. But it is because to design a good website, it takes over a year. Usually an insane amount of planning and time goes into it on both the designer's part and IT's part. So instead, what I built for you are a couple wireframes, which is like a visual style that designers would then base the design of the website off of. And I dropped those into Figma. That way we could get a look and feel for what the actual functioning website would look like. If the brochure was about tactile storytelling, the website, it is about digital credibility. It is the first touch point most people will have with the Xavier brand. And it needs to do 3 things fast. That is, build trust, inspire curiosity, and encourage exploration. Let's start with structure. Every great website begins with clear information architecture. Basically, what goes where and why. I organize the main navigation around the emotional journey of prospective students and parents. The idea is that each section reflects a key part of the Xavier experience. For example, the academic portion, it will probably talk about something like honing in on mind and ability, phrased vague enough that non-mutants will think it's just a specialized boarding school. But the fans, they get it. For visual direction, I kept consistency with the core identity. Bodoni is the main typeface and Helvetica for clarity. Bodoni gives us heritage and academic voice, while Helvetica keeps things grounded and accessible. And pairing them together, it says we are an institution, but we're evolving. The color palette follows the same deep navy and soft cream of the brochure. We have the muted gold as accents for prestige. And if I were really building the site, I would add subtle telepathic shimmer effects on hover in certain locations. Because this is the Xavier Institute, there's always something quietly extraordinary. For authenticity, I added a testimonial page. These are quotes that subtly hint at power without saying it outright. This page would have things like, I've never felt more accepted for who I am, here my potential became my purpose. It would be something like emotional connection over spectacle. Okay, for you, it's been a few minutes, but for me, it's been a few weeks. And yes, I'm aware, I'm still wearing the same shirt. I had to take my time and fully realize this campaign. Even though it's just for a video, I still wanted to take my time and make it look like an actual professional campaign that you would see for Xavier's school. Something that you could imagine seeing on a subway or on socials or hanging in the halls of the mansion. I designed a full 9-panel social campaign that tells the Xavier story. Not just through the school's message, but through the feeling of belonging and growth that defines what the X-Men world stands for. The first piece sets the tone. It's about the origin, the vision behind Xavier's dream. It's simple, symbolic, and establishes the core idea of hope and inclusion right from the start. From there, we move on into community. This one's about individuality, how every student brings something different to the table, but together they make something even greater. I used warm connecting imagery, and that reaching gesture, it emphasizes unity. This one is about potential in motion. It's not about power for power's sake. It's about using your ability to build something better. I imagine for this one, the soft lighting and the gesture feeling optimistic and forward-focused. Then we start widening the perspective. This panel celebrates alumni and the impact they've made beyond the school. It's a reminder that the dream didn't stop with the founders. It continued through everyone who's been part of it. And this one shifts the tone a bit. More infographic, more data-driven, shows that Xavier's School isn't just a local institution. It's a global movement. I wanted to make it feel like something you'd actually see on a university's official social media feed. And then we get back to the human side again. Students living it out. This one's about the everyday reality of learning, growing, and putting those ideals into motion. The dual portrait keeps it warm and grounded. And then the next one is the transition point, a moment of reflection and direction. The giant X isn't just a logo here. It's symbolic. It anchors the message of collective effort and forward vision. This is where it gets more abstract. I used a feather to represent Angel, but also the idea of growth and transformation. The line, a place where evolution is more than biology, captures that perfectly. And then finally, we close with the school itself, the literal home of the dream. It ties everything back together, the origin, the mission, the people, and the legacy. This message is simple but powerful. Xavier's dream didn't end. It continues. So yeah, that's the full campaign. 9 ads, 1 story. From vision to community to legacy to evolution. I wanted this campaign to feel as close as it possibly could to something that would exist in the real world, as if Xavier's school was running its own modern rebrand. And honestly, I'm happy with how cohesive it turned out. It might have been a fictional brief, but the process, it felt just as real as a professional design project. The only thing I would have done differently is either shoot my own photos or work with a photographer to get the shots that I need. So that is part 2 of Charles Xavier's rebrand, where the visual system, it starts communicating. We covered storytelling in print, experience through the web, and emotion through advertising, each one serving a distinct role in the brand ecosystem. But I am so excited for part 3. This is where things get tangible. We are talking uniforms, notebooks, campus merch, maybe even a sports jersey or two. Basically the things that make the students proud to wear the X. So stay tuned for Charles Xavier's brand culture. And let me know in the comments, who is your favorite X-Men? I feel like that's more telling than asking someone what their zodiac sign is. Anyway, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.